Coming up, we are celebrating Halloween with the Gettysburg Ghost Gals and taking a look at several haunted locations in Gettysburg.
This Halloween, if you're looking for ghosts, you might want to call the Gettysburg Ghost Gals. This morning, we're meeting the all-female ghost hunting team to check out some of Gettysburg's most haunted locations. And that's where we find Fox 43's Jennifer Reddy this morning. Hi, Jen.
Hey, good morning. We are here at one of several haunted locations here in the Gettysburg area. Right now, we are at the former Confederate Civil War Hospital, and joining us right now is BRIGID Goody with the Gettysburg Ghost Gals. For those people who are not familiar, what is it that you guys do?
Basically, we've been doing investigations, I personally, almost about 30 years, along with the other members of the group, and we go to private businesses, public businesses, homes, and we try and help determine if people are experiencing some strange, unexplainable activity, what it is, whether it's a scientific reasoning behind it, or if it's possibly paranormal.
And tell us a little bit about this hospital, where we're at right now, and the kind of activity that's happened here.
Right now, we are at the David Stewart Farm. The David Stewart Farm, which also, believe it or not, you can actually stay here. It's listed on Airbnb. It's quite a haunted location. Basically, while the Confederates were retreating from Gettysburg, they used this Civil War field hospital, and all the privates were here in the barn, while the upper generals, lieutenants were inside the house.
And what kind of ghost activity have you seen reported here?
We have gotten some awesome activity, especially out here in the lower and upper barn. We have gotten shadows. We have gotten light anomalies, bangs, repetitive footsteps in the hay upstairs above on the top floor while we're downstairs doing investigations. So it's very, very interesting.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will have much more coming up. In the next hour, we're going to take an example look at the exact work that they do. But Andrea, right now we are outside, and it is a little bit chilly out here. What can people expect if they're going to be celebrating Halloween later today?
Well, Jen, unlike yesterday,
this morning we are visiting several haunted locations in Gettysburg. Coming up, we'll take you inside one of those.
This Halloween, if you're looking for ghosts, you might want to call the Gettysburg Ghost Gals. This morning, we're meeting the all-female ghost hunting team to check out some of Gettysburg's most haunted locations. That's where we find Fox 43's Jennifer Reddy this morning in a spooky tour. Hey, Jen, what's going on?
Hey, good morning. We are hanging out here at one of the several haunted locations here in Gettysburg. Right now, we are inside a former Confederate Civil War museum, and right now the Gettysburg Ghost Gals are busy investigating. But while they do that, we're going to speak with author and historian as well as Civil War reenactor Courtney. Kent, tell us a little bit about this hospital that we're standing in.
Well, Jen, you know, what happened was they had to give a place for thousands of Confederates to be healed, to get back from the wounded. And, you know, they were so overwhelmed that they would be just strewn across the floor of a barn like this with very little comfort. You know, they didn't have the convenience of opioids. There was nothing to relieve the pain. So you could imagine coming here, the screaming and the agony. The doctors could not work with them fast enough in order for them to all be saved. So some of them died that should not have died because they could get no medical care because of the sheer numbers of people that were wounded and suffering during the aftermath of the Battle of Gettysburg.
And with that said, what are the spirits and the energies like in here?
Well, you know, you come in here and you can actually feel a presence. And, you know, there's a very thin layer, you know, it's between the spiritual world and the physical world, especially during the period between All Hallows Eve, Halloween, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day. The Mexicans call that the Day of the Dead. And the tradition is that there's a very, very thin veil between the dead and those people that are living, and this is the time to really perceive the ghosts and the spirits.
Great. Well, thank you, Kent, so much for joining us. And guys, we'll have much more coming up. We'll check in with the Gettysburg Ghost Gals and see what they find here in the former hospital. But for right now, we are reporting live in Gettysburg. Jennifer Reddy, Fox 43 News. And we are celebrating Halloween at a haunted location in Gettysburg. Coming up, we're learning about some spiritual evidence found earlier this morning.
Well, this Halloween, if you're looking for ghosts, you might want to call the Gettysburg Ghost Gals. This morning, we're meeting the all-female ghost hunting team to check out some of Gettysburg's most haunted locations. That's where we find Fox 43's Jennifer Reddy this morning. You having fun, Jen?
Oh, we're having so much fun. We've been here hanging out with the Gettysburg Ghost Gals all morning long, and during our last live shot, they were actually looking for evidence and in doing some investigating, and they actually collected some evidence. So here to tell us a little bit about it is Bridget Goode. Bridget, what exactly did you guys collect during the last collection?
What we caught is we caught a light being manipulated. As you can see, if the camera can pan down to our Ghost Cam Pro, it's a military grade detection unit. And as you can see in the shot, along with that, you can actually see the electrical line. The lights are all empowered in a long line of lights. What we happened to catch was one light being quickly turned on and then off very quickly. None of the other lights in the basement turned off. No one was near the light switch. No one was in the location at the time. We were all away from it. So it's pretty compelling evidence.
And tell us what we're looking at when you pull this clip up right here.
You're going to see the light be manipulated there and go off, and the environment is not lit at all. And then you're actually going to see a surge in our equipment, and you're going to see the screen get a little bit brighter there, and then it goes off. I'll replay it for you. Again, the one light going quickly on and quickly off, lasting about a second.
And what does that tell you?
It tells us that there's some kind of spirit in there manipulating. They can manipulate devices such as phones. A lot of the times when we go in a location, we'll have equipment and it'll actually drain our batteries even before we start the investigation. So it's something common that does happen during investigations. But in actuality, we've been at this location many times before, and this actually happened to Jenny and I before, where we had a sudden surge of energy and we saw it with our eyes. So this is just more compelling evidence to show that, yes, there's definitely something here, and it's manipulating the environment.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, we'll have much more coming up in the next hour. But for now, we are reporting live in Gettysburg. Jennifer Reddy, Fox 43 News. Coming up, we take you inside a haunted bed and breakfast in Gettysburg, and we're learning how the Gettysburg Ghost Gals do their investigating.
Well, this Halloween, if you're looking for ghosts, you might want to call the Gettysburg Ghost Gals. This morning, we're meeting the all-female ghost hunting team to check out some of Gettysburg's most haunted attractions. That's where we find Fox 43's Jennifer Reddy this morning. Hey, Jen.
Hey, good morning. This morning, all morning long, we're hanging out at several haunted locations here in Gettysburg. Earlier, we were at the former Confederate Civil War Hospital, and now we're in a haunted bed and breakfast that people still sleep in today. And joining us now from the Gettysburg Ghost Gals is Bridget Goode. Bridget, for those people who are not familiar with the work that you do, tell us a little bit about the Gettysburg Ghost Gals.
Basically, we've been, like I said, paranormal investigating, I don't know, close upwards of 25 years. We go in, we help clients at their private homes, businesses, anybody who ever calls us in. It's all volunteer work, so we do it all volunteer.
And in your hands, you have a tool that you guys use while investigating. Tell us a little bit about what this is and how it works.
This is from one of our two sponsors, GhostHunterApps.com, and this is the Ethereal. It's a voice box that uses NASA wave frequencies. So it's really the best apps out there on the market today, as well as some of the other equipment we brought today was from our other sponsor, who is Vortex Ghost Gear, Christopher's line. He's one of our sponsors also.
And how does it work when you're going through a haunted area?
Basically, we take about anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. Sometimes it takes more than one investigation to find out any proof of paranormal activity. And, you know, sometimes you debunk things. Sometimes you don't find any activity. You may be there a couple of times. Sometimes there's a ton of activity. So, you know, it's you never really know.
And real quickly, tell us a little bit about the activity that has been here in this haunted bed and breakfast.
I'm here. We've had some amazing things happen. We've had tapping back from the armoire upstairs, which if you go to our website, www.gettysburgghostgals.com,